over, but I'll power through. Apollo confirms his marriage won't last when he goes to prison. Oh. And the streets are talking about Jay Z and Beyonce. Is their marriage over? Oh. And Kanye is controlling Kim's every move. Let's talk about it and more. It's time for Hot Topics. Have a seat, everybody. So I had the greatest 50th birthday celebration at the club ever. Oh my gosh. Okay, so the doors opened up at 8 o'clock, you know, and I got there, this is me and my husband. You always ask what he looks like, there he is. Look, I got there at like 9 o'clock and stayed until it was from 8 to 2. I love an early party on account of, you know, who needs to stay out until 4 o'clock in the morning? Chaka Khan performed at the club. Fantastic. Chaka went on with her full band at like midnight and she performed for like a half hour and I picked out the selection of songs that, you know, she asked me, what do you want me to do? So she had the list and they were all songs, we knew the words to them, so we were having a great time. And then Sherry Shepherd from The View was there. And Little John was the DJ, and I know that you watched that show, Orange is the New Black. Tasty, yeah, Tasty. Danielle Brooks, Mr. and Mrs. Wilkos were there. Steve Wilkos from Steve, yeah. Steve and I were turning it up in the corner. Me, him, and his wife. And then Shad Moss was there. Remember after the BET Awards, he wants to be called Shad, not Bow Wow. Erica Mena was there. Jane Velez Mitchell she brought her partner with her. Exactly. And Leanne and Eddie showed up. Yeah. And then it was so crazy, because at one point in the night, Dougie Fresh just jumped on stage impromptu and started beatboxing, and Leanne was singing. Yes. It was just the best time ever. I want to thank everybody who came. A special shout out to Narium. Thank you so much for sponsoring. And yes, I was shocked there. Okay, fine. And also shout out to my friends at AARP. The new face of 50. How you doing? And I want all my discounts. You know, you get all those old lady. I want them all. I want all my discounts. Anyway, one of the biggest celebrity couples in the world could be over. You know it. Jay Z and Beyonce. Well, personally speaking, I'm doing this story because I think that you're curious. Quite honestly, I think that this is the kind of couple that will stay together, you know, because it's good for business and because they don't want to disappoint us and because, you know, they don't want to disappoint, I guess, you know, our Father who art in heaven, you know. But anyway, so according to the New York Post, they're on the Run tour, could be the end of their marriage. Well, magazines and Entertainment Tonight style shows and whatnot have been talking for weeks about, you know, their marriage not being on such solid ground. They reportedly are trying to figure out a way to split without divorcing. In other words, a hood divorce. Listen, they say that they are worth $1 billion collectively, so that is a lot of money to divide. I could never stay together for the purpose of pleasing you all. Like, if I'm not feeling marriage, I'll be the first one to let you know. It's done. And I wouldn't feel any ways about it, and I don't feel necessary to stay married for kids. You know, we've talked about that before through the TV. But something tells me that they are both vain enough in their own separate rights that, like, he wouldn't want his fans to turn on him. Because once you lose Beyonce, does the world start throwing tomatoes at you? And then her, I don't picture her dating. You know what I'm saying? Like really, which is a shame. It really is a shame. But I don't picture her dating and getting out there and just really dipping it and doing it. And I think that if they do get a real divorce, it won't happen anytime soon. I say in like 2 or 3 years. But something tells me that it might be never, you know? And they'll just live apart silently. And people love their love. You know, us, the general population. I mean, we put pressure on them too. I love their love. I think they, you know. Although I must say, I have several cynics on the staff here at Wendy that say, it's not about love, it's about the business. You know, there's no love to love, Wendy, don't be naive. And I'm like, no, but they love each other, shut up. Yeah, but I do think, though, that they are vain enough that when the love is over and when he wants to twerk his way around the world with other women or whatever, that they will not divorce because they're scared of what we're gonna say. And I say, go ahead and divorce. We'll say something for 30 seconds, and then we'll move on to the next celebrity couple. That's how we are, right? Please. Like Madonna says, and it's my motto now that I'm 50, poor is the man whose pleasures depend on the permission of others. Right? Kim and Kanye have been married for only 58 days. You know I'm keeping count on account of the crow. And she's already feeling trapped by that madman. Well, didn't we tell her this? At least I know I did. I feel sorry for her. I know what you're gonna say. Well, she did it to herself. The way she's gotten famous and, you know, running through men and marrying a lot. Okay, fine. But don't you feel sorry for her being married to this madman? I know she made her bed, but what a prickly one. Kanye is reportedly so controlling that he tracks her every move. Probably these days more than just blowing up a telephone. You know, now he might have maybe put a little chip in that phone. If you know what I'm saying. And under the front bumper of her Phantom that she likes to drive around in and stuff. Gee. Well, Kim, you should have thought about this 58 days ago. They are currently together in Paris, and they're spending like 2 weeks together, but this is like the longest time that they spent together in the 58 days since they had been married. I mean, like a week and a half ago, you know, it was written and we told you that they had only been together like 7 days since they got married. And then he took her to Ireland for the honeymoon, and she didn't like that. It was damp, it was cold, there was no shopping. And I was reading in one of my magazines, it might have been Life and Style or In Touch or something like that, there was an email sent from the hotel. Did you guys know this? The email sent from the hotel where Kanye asked for DVDs to be purchased and all kinds of stuff. Okay, so it was like, he wanted to go like to museums and to spend inside playing cards. He asked for cards. He asked for them to wheel in the biggest TV that they could possibly find. And all these DVDs and you know, like board games and stuff. So I know that's not exactly the way she wanted to spend her honeymoon, and I don't blame her. I mean, like my favorite kind of vacation is always someplace where I can lay on the beach and order a margarita. You know? Now, unlike Beyonce, who might not have the backbone to go through with divorce, Kim will have the backbone to do it because that, to me, she's always put it out there that she admires the late Liz Taylor and that, you know, so to me, she just wants to collect rings and keep it moving. She's gonna get tired of him controlling her, and somebody in her family is going to convince her otherwise. You know, it won't be the mother because the mother always wants money and this relationship looks good for the purpose of the press, but she's gonna get tired of it, and this marriage won't last any longer than a year. And I'm talking about a year from 58 days ago. But I'll be ready to eat my crow, you know, I promised you. You know, Sonny and those guys from the kitchen are gonna come over here and they're gonna make my crow and I'm gonna eat it, and I'm thinking of pairing it with something other than hot sauce. You know what I was thinking of pairing it with? Saucy Susan. Do you like that? I think that crow would be good paired with Saucy Susan. To me, the crow is probably a little bitter, like week-old meat left in the sun. And the Saucy Susan is a delectable condiment. It's gold, and it's got chunks of peach in it and apricots and stuff. And maybe put it on a little bed of brown rice, right? Anyway, I'll figure that out when we come back for our new season, when I know I have to eat my crow. So, Apollo is confirming something that I've been telling you all along. He says his marriage to Phaedra won't last when he goes to prison for 8 years. Well, come on. Would you stay? No. And now he's got to pay back, $1.9 million in money, which means that if you stay married to him, then you're responsible for half of that, perhaps? Please, I'm out. Anyway. Apollo spoke out for the very first time since being sentenced. Listen very closely to what he says, and then I'll break it down for you after. Go ahead.
The word is that you're really protecting your family now.
Yeah, I have been. From day one. I've been protecting my family. It's all on me. A lot of people could be held accountable, but at the end of the day, it's all on me. It's over with now.
Is your relationship going to be able to make it through this, man?
I doubt it.
Yeah.
My wife didn't even show up for my sentencing, so, I'm still I'm still salty about that.
So, it's been confirmed. It wasn't an agreement that they both agreed that Phaedra wouldn't be there, so that she can start limiting her interaction with this case, the court system. There was a part of me that said, well, maybe he did tell Phaedra, baby, you don't have to come to court. No good can come out of this for you. I'm about to go up the river. Why don't you just stay home with the boys and start limiting, distancing yourself from me? But nope, instead, she just didn't show up and he's pissed. Also, did you hear what he said? There are a lot of people who could be implicated, but I'm the one. I wonder if Phaedra is part of a lot of people. I've been polling my audiences. It's a new day here at Wendy. I'll poll you too. Clap if you think Phaedra knew exactly what Apollo was doing. Okay, one more question about that. Clap if you think that not only did she know, but you think that she was a part of the planning board. Clap if you think Phaedra is absolutely innocent and she just married a crook. There's still a few naive people in the audience. Anyway, Apollo, you keep talking, and when you get in the clink, make sure that you start writing that pamphlet. Well, I'm thinking, the book is not gonna be a full book. We only care about the answer to one question, right? Did Phaedra know? Pam Anderson is calling off her divorce to Rick Solomon. Remember, it was a few weeks ago, we told you that she filed for divorce from Rick, reportedly as a warning shot for him to stop partying. That hat is so stupid. Well, it looks like it worked because they were spotted kissing and the rings are back on. So congratulations to them. It won't last though. Well, no, the thing is that, when you're married, you have to learn how to fight properly. And I realize that a lot of young people who've never been married before, say you're in your 20s or your early 30s, you all sometimes fight dirty. I'll divorce you. But once you get to be an OG, an original gangster. Look. Once you become an OG in the name of love, somewhere like 40 plus, then you realize that it is not cool to throw him out of the house every time you all fight. That mess playing around about sleeping in a guest room and sleeping on the couch. Do you do that? We can divide the covers, don't touch my feet. Do you understand? I'm gonna sleep all the way to the edge. Don't touch me. But we will sleep together. and you don't play with the divorce word. So they clearly don't know how to fight with one another. They were married for like 6 minutes 3 years ago, 5 months, right? And then they got divorced. And so now they're remarried, but they've only been remarried for how long? 6 months. So you're already fighting like that 6 months in. Listen, you knew he was a partier to begin with, Pam. So why would you even, she's on path for sobriety, nothing wrong with that. I told you she's very So a guy like that is just supposed to be a drive-by. You're not supposed to actually marry him. That's the first thing. You're in two different areas in your life. You can't change people. You can't change, if he wants to party and he doesn't have a problem with partying, in terms of like excessive substance abuse and stuff like that, then you can't change him. Reportedly, though, he criticizes her outfits, as in the, aren't you too old? You're 47 now, Pam. Why are you wearing that? See, to me, that's a divorce right there. Right there. I guess he wouldn't approve of me in my kilt skirts then, with the pin. And he also age shames her. I know. Divorce, right? Well, Pam, good luck. We'll be watching. I guess the sex must be good that Alec... No, really. That Alec Baldwin's wife, Hilaria, even though he hates, this, I guess the paparazzi part, of being a celebrity, being chased down in the street and stuff, apparently she desperately wants to be famous. By the way, she's 30. Just saying. Anyway, reportedly, she's pressuring Alec into doing a reality show. Worst idea ever. She posts a new yoga pose every day of her life. She's very talented, though. I mean, can you do that? She's very talented. What kind of reality show would that be? And would Alec be part of the reality show? And if he's part of the reality show and married to a woman who apparently wants her own degree of fame, did he marry the wrong... Is he hypocritical? Like, on one hand, he hates being hunted down by the paparazzi and stuff. On the other hand, if you hate it so much, then why didn't you marry a nurse? Right? I mean... And he does stuff for her. Like, she's a correspondent for Extra, one of those like lifestyle correspondents. Alec thinks it's a bad idea, yet he's the one who pulled the strings to get her the job. Is this the case of an old man becoming hypnotized by a young girl? He's 58 and she's 30. Those yoga poses probably lead to, wow. I just can't get over, though, that she's 30, right, Susie Q?
She's not 30.
Yes, that's what Wikipedia says.
No, she's like 38, 40.
No, it says 30. Anyway, let's talk about Jenny McCarthy. How you doing, Jenny? Jenny is an unfiltered woman. She's not scared to talk about sex with anybody, including her 11-year-old son, Evan. Well, there's Evan, and here's what Jenny says. Jenny says, I kind of knew it was time because I accidentally told him that sex was like foot rubs. I looked on his iPad and there were 2,000 pictures of foot rubs. And I'm like, oh my God, he's going to have a foot fetish for the rest of his life. So I just sat down and had a real heart-to-heart talk with him. I think 11 is late to start talking about sex with your kids. I mean, I even asked our pediatrician, and he said somewhere around 9. We started talking, and I didn't ask him for permission. I asked him because I knew we were going to talk about this today, and I just wanted to, find out what, a pediatrician would say about that. Or am I the crazy one? We started talking about sex with little Kev when he was about 8. And I forgot how it came up, but when they start asking questions, like I don't believe in calling things a pee-pee and a poo-poo, and you were dropped off by the stork and, you know, all this other kind of stuff. I think that even with kids, straight talk also, like with adults, it makes for straight understanding, but you don't give them more than they can handle. I mean, we didn't have the full-on talk with him. I let him kind of guide the conversation when he was 8. And the conversation still goes on, you know, today, and hopefully will still go on. You know, every day it seems like they have, or every other day, once you start the conversation of sex with your kids, if you don't make them feel awkward, they will have a new question every day for you. And the way I find is the best way to keep the door open is that I don't sit down and have the formal talk, like, okay, pull up a chair, let's have the talk. And I don't make eye contact with him. You know, well, no, because it makes the kids, I think it would make them feel weird. Don't make them feel awkward, like, you know, have your back to them. Wash the dishes and continue the conversation. In the meantime, you're like, load that dishwasher. Don't make the eye contact. Don't act like anything is weird. Or a real comfortable place to have the conversation with your kids is when you're driving, because you got to keep your eyes on the road. And you turn the radio off and you just let them ask the questions and you know, give your opinion and give them even more information when warranted. 11 is late. Do you think 11 is late to have the talk with your kids? Clap. Clap. Do you think 8 is too early? Clap. And the rest of you just don't even want to have that damn conversation? Have them... Let's just have the kids learn in the streets the way the rest of us did.